What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoodeBaker podcast. I'm Nick Baker, and across from me, Shane Good.
Yo, what up?
And we are here to talk to you about some video games. But first things first, make sure you go over to our Facebook page and Instagram page and give us a like. Look for us on our YouTube page as well. Subscribe there for any more of our podcast stuff. And, of course, look for us on Apple Music and Spotify, Google Play, any of those podcast services that we got going right now. We're looking out for more every day, so...
It's true.
You know, keep your eyes peeled. But without further ado, let's get into what we've been playing this week. What's up, man?
So, I have been playing... Actually, I tried a new game this week. It was okay. So I tried Valorant.
Valorant?
Yo.
Nice.
I don't know if you remember what Valorant is.
Yeah, it's like the CSGO clone.
Yeah, it's pretty much CSGO with Overwatch mixed together. Played it a little bit. Kind of was just like, yeah, that's CSGO. And then was like, I don't know if I really like that. I was looking for something a little bit more Overwatch-like.
Yeah.
Where the skills, like, really played into, like, just a crazy amount. And, like, you could use them consistently, but it's more like you have, like, one charge around and you have to buy, like, the skills. And, like, it's, I don't know. It's not what it's interesting. It's literally just CSGO with a couple extra skills. There's a couple cool skills. Like, there's one where you can, like, you can put your body, like, at a marker, and you can just run in, and if you die, you just go back to that marker. You have, like, 10 seconds to die type of thing.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds really cool. It sounds like a lot like the, I think it's the Revenant in Apex.
Yep.
Where he has that, like, totem thing, and you have a certain amount of time.
Yeah, very, very similar, very similar. So that's cool. I played a decent amount of TFT this week as well. I got to Plat in TFT this week, and I got another account almost to Plat as well.
Sweet.
That was fun. I didn't think that I would actually... Like, I was just kind of playing for fun, and I ended up being able to do it. And I'm already climbing as well, like, in the center of Plat, so... I don't know.
Awesome.
I didn't think the game would be that easy, but I guess it kind of is.
Yeah. I mean, you've been playing games akin to that for a long time, so you probably have that skill pretty down pat.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly like the big skill of the game is understanding when you need to level, when you need to force specific things, and how to kind of play the items that you get. A lot of compositions that you can go are strong, but they're not strong without items. Especially what's good right now, it's all about items.
One thing that I was curious about, because I really haven't watched too much gameplay on it, I've just seen like snippets here and there. Is it real time or is it turn-based?
It's real time.
Okay, so everything's happening there. So that seems really stressful. It seems like there's a lot of things going on there.
Actually, in comparison to things like League of Legends and like other RTS type styled games, it's actually not that bad.
Well.
I find that one the most relaxing out of all of them. The thing is, like, it's real time, but once the battle starts, the only thing you could do is put an item on somebody. So, like, you can't move your own units or anything like that, but it's still RTS.
Yeah.
So, like, your units obviously completely fight.
Right.
Until the death. And
cool.
They all die, and then you're sad. But,
oh, no.
But, yeah, what have you been playing, man?
Well, speaking of stress, I've been playing Hyperscape.
Yes.
Trying that out, and I really do like it. It's an interesting challenge.
It's very fast paced.
Oh, it's blisteringly fast, like especially compared to Call of Duty, which I've been playing consistently since launch, and I've gotten pretty decent at Call of Duty. Switching to the speed of Hyperscape is just a complete head turn.
Really?
The verticality and the movement of that game is so fast, and the abilities that you get are so they lead you to being able to move in so many different ways. Like, there's a teleport ability that allows you to kind of blink to a spot, and there's a super jump ability or a slam ability that allows you to jump like 10 stories in the air. And those abilities alone are some that just make you a super hard target, and obviously make other people super hard targets. So it's really interesting to get in there, especially on console, and try and track people at that speed, especially after playing such a down to earth pace game like Call of Duty. That said, though, it's a lot of fun, especially end game when the crown appears and you have to grab the crown. If you grab the crown, you have 45 seconds to run around, and if you survive that 45 seconds, you win. And each time that the crown drops again after somebody's dropped, there's another 45 seconds. So the player count continues to dwindle, all while the crown is still in play, and it just gets so hectic.
So you don't want the crown at first. It's basically unless you're real fucking confident.
Unless you have like the teleport or jump ability, or maybe even invisibility or invulnerability up to its max level, which each ability and weapon can be leveled up to 4.
Okay.
So when you level up a weapon to level 4, it gets all kinds of different buffs, like extra ammo in the clip or extra damage, better reload speed, especially with the shotgun. Love the shotgun.
Classics.
Yeah, so if you have those abilities, it makes it way easier to survive, especially when you have the crown. I haven't won a game yet. I had the crown a few times, but it's so, like, if you don't have those abilities, it is so hard to get away from so many people because everybody's gunning for you. And if they're smart players at all, they'll try and flank you even though they're not on a team. They'll like see somebody chasing you, they'll go around and flank you on the other side, and they'll kill you and maybe kill the person that was chasing you and then take the crown. So there's a little bit of strategy in that, where like you said, you might want to kind of hang back, wait for somebody to get like really low in health, which you can see from a good distance. You can see people's health bars from I'd say like 100 meters, I'd say.
That's pretty good.
So it's really an awesome experience and a very good shift from Call of Duty, where I went and I played that and I came back to Call of Duty and I was playing that at such a high pace that I was actually doing a hell of a lot better at Call of Duty.
Yeah, I could see that.
The gears
so
were
much
turning
hyper-focused.
so much faster.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, I was thinking about flanking routes and different things in a much speedier way than I was before. But the other game I've been playing off and on is Paper Mario Origami King on the Switch.
Quite the name. But
oh yeah, it's good. I'm actually enjoying it quite a lot. It's definitely not as good in my opinion as some of the older Paper Mario games, just because there's not a great sense of progression so far. The way you get weapons and the way you don't really level up in this game. You kind of just get extra health and stuff like that. I haven't gotten too deep into it, so I don't really have a great opinion of it yet, but it's hitting the like chill mode thing that I really need, especially after playing like high stress games like COD and Hyper Escape. So it's good, I'd say. And that's where I'll leave that until I get deeper into it. But
yeah,
without further ado, let's get into the big topics of the week, because we got a lot to talk about this week, even though there's only 3 topics, but these topics are big ones.
3 large topics.
So we'll start off with arguably the biggest topic, because I think this has big implications for the next gen. Halo Infinite got delayed until 2021.
Gasp!
Oh, Xbox players, no.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, Ben.
So the thing about this is it's good and it's bad.
Yeah.
And the good is really good because I think that Halo is going to benefit and Xbox is going to benefit once Halo finally comes out. The bad being that I don't think they're going to sell as many Xboxes as they would have.
No, I think that without having their launch title right there, like especially a launch title like Halo, it's been hyped. They've been, like this is the reason a lot of people would be buying this console right now.
Absolutely. And I was listening to a few podcasts before I got here. This would have been the first Halo to launch with an Xbox system since the first Halo, so that's
because the other one got fucking delayed.
It was gonna be a moment, I think, and it was gonna really push Xbox into the argument for being like the top dog in this next generation. And I think this really kind of takes the wind out of their sails in a way, because other than Halo, there wasn't a ton there for launch. I know that they have a ton in back catalog, so there are a bunch of reasons to buy an Xbox at launch.
Yeah, Bugsplat for sure.
Bugsnax is exclusive on the PS5, my man.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Shit.
Yeah, I guess I'm not buying an Xbox. Jeez. No.
Oh.
But I actually was planning on buying both of these consoles. Even still, I'm probably gonna get there because I want to have those exclusives. I know Xbox is gonna come out swinging eventually.
Yeah.
But it really does hurt their early sales, I think, to not have that Halo game at launch.
Two things. Hear me out on the first one.
All right. Well,
hear me out on the first one.
I'm thinking I can guess the first one. Buy a PC.
Yeah, because all of the fucking all of the Xbox games are now on computer.
You're
so,
right. You're right. And
I
was
it's immediately.
Just a solid decision. I wanted to pull it back as soon as I said it, but yeah, I in a lot of ways now this does kind of convince me to go in that PC direction, just because I think it is going to be the better way to go.
Yeah.
In the long run, and obviously you can play all the Xbox exclusives on there. So.
Right. It makes a big difference. The second thing, I really think this could spell delays in the next gen consoles. It's some pretty hard speculation, but I think that it could end up spelling delays for the next gen consoles, just because if the Xbox One isn't forcing out the number one title, could the PS5 possibly hold off as well to try and match them, or are they going to take advantage in not releasing a game that isn't quite as polished as they would want it to be, and hold off on another title that they was super hyped for the PS5 as well? And then maybe things get dragged out a little bit longer, and then maybe like the consoles get dragged out a little bit longer because they don't have the correct launch games that they wanted. Or did PS5 swing the exact opposite way and just push out like everything and a little bit more that they had like stored in their pocket and just destroy the Xbox because they couldn't get the Halo Infinite out in time?
I think the smart play for PlayStation would be to hold back a little bit and just maybe push their launch a little bit and kind of give themselves a little bit more breathing room now that clearly Xbox is going to be hurt by this. The other thing is they could take a big swing and pull up their whole lineup and just swing for the fences.
Fucking dump it, dude.
Because the one thing that makes me convinced that might happen is they've ramped up the hype on Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game that's coming out at launch. And with that alone, I think it would be a solid win for PlayStation, but they have a pretty solid launch lineup with Bugsnax is getting a whole lot of hype, Spider-Man and a few others that I'm not clearly thinking of right now, but I don't know when Ratchet and Clank is coming out. That they didn't say that that's a launch title yet, but I don't have it in front of me. But if they alone just push out Spider-Man, I think that's a system seller, and I think that immediately gives them the win. And the way that they're hyping up that game right now, they're showing all these great 4K screenshots, and the big controversy this week for PlayStation at least was that an industry insider said it was struggling with 4K resampling or something like that, and a lot of people kind of fired back against that, saying that there's nothing wrong with it. So we don't really know what that's going to look like until we obviously have the consoles in our hands.
Right.
But the screenshot alone and the video from the trailer that was supposedly in-game gameplay shows the new ray tracing, and it looks beautiful. If the game ships at even that technicality look, I think that it's immediately going to put PlayStation back above Xbox, and I don't think that's really a hole that they're going to be able to dig out of until Halo comes out. And yeah, it could spell disaster if if Xbox doesn't have, some sort of big push like, 3 months of Game Pass free when you buy an Xbox Series X, or like something big to supplement not having that Halo experience at launch.
Yeah, no, I definitely could see that. Fun fact for you, by the way, when you buy computer graphics cards, a lot of times you get like 3 months of Game Pass for free, or you'll get like EA's Game Pass for free for like 3 months. It's actually not super uncommon to do that. So I wouldn't be super surprised if they did do something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I laughed a little bit when you said put PlayStation back on top, because they weren't already on top,
Well, yeah, like I think that immediately when you were talking about next gen, you're like leveling the playing field again. So it's dangerous what they did, but I think that it's really, really good for Halo fans to wait, because what we got from The Last of Us, for example, waiting, I think it was almost an entire year of delays, like, back to back. That game came out and it looked like a next-gen game. It looks like what I would expect a PS5 launch game to look like. So if that's what they're able to do for Halo, and barring what we saw from the gameplay reveal, it wasn't as technically sound, and there was the whole... there was a meme about the alien or whatever that looked like super low res or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't get into it. I just looked up the meme a while ago, and I was like, I don't really get this, because, it was just... the first gameplay reveal, but it's gonna make Halo better having it wait and come out when it's actually ready. And I mean, who knows, maybe the ray tracing for that will be ready by the time it's launched, and maybe that's why they're doing this. They stated in their statement, I think COVID was a big portion of why they weren't able to get the workload done that they expected they would. I imagine that's happening to a lot of studios, and that's another reason why I think PlayStation might take a little bit of time and be like, all right, yeah, this is hitting us hard too. Maybe we push our launch back to like maybe December or something in that area, and give our developers time to really polish these things up and make them look as good as they possibly can.
I mean, it's in their interest to even do that too, because the better the PS5 looks and the games look, it's not going to matter how good the Xbox looks if the Xbox doesn't have games to play that look that good. It's kind of just like, well, I guess I get a PS5.
Yeah,
that's what people will go for.
That's always been the bargaining point for the PlayStation, even though it's less powerful than the Xbox One X. It's it's got the games.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You go for the games. If you're a gamer like I am, I go for the experiences, not necessarily the power of the console, and that's ultimately why I haven't had a PC for as long as I have. But that being said, with this whole Halo backpedal and not clear how much more power the Xbox Series X is going to have over the PS5, that could sell PCs.
I'll tell you right now, neither of them are going to touch my PC. Not even come close.
Oh, of course not. But
so... I paid a little bit more than you're probably going to pay for the consoles, which does lead me to my next thing, though. Still no console price.
Yeah.
How far away are we? We're like, what?
We're a few months.
Couple months? 2 months? 2.5 months?
Three-ish, if we're... I mean, we don't have release dates either, so they could be
that's true. That is very true. We don't have release... what was it? Christmas holiday time 2020.
Right.
So
it could be
December.
Yeah, December 31st. So we'll see. But with that said, let's move on to our next topic, because this one I feel like was almost equally as big, because it really caused a stir up in not only
big stir
gaming, but just Reddit exploded with this.
Oh yeah.
So Apple and Google Play removed Fortnite from their respective stores. This comes after the Epic changed the V-Buck price for the Battle Pass from 1,000 V-Bucks to $9.99. From $9.99 to $7.99, whatever that equals out to in V-Bucks.
It's okay.
And Apple and Google did not take kindly to this because Epic was pretty much calling them out for charging them a surcharge of like 30% to put the game on their stores.
Yeah.
So I have the article pulled up here, and I'll read the original article from IGN. Jonathan Dornbush wrote this up. He's really, really good. I love reading his articles. So here's the original story. Apple has confirmed that it has removed Fortnite from iOS Apple stores following the Epic Games alteration of the price of Fortnite V-Bucks and a new direct payment system in response to Apple and Google's exorbitant app store fees. Epic has responded by filing a complaint for injunctive relief against Apple. In a statement on The Verge, Apple confirmed that as a result of Epic's update to the game, their Fortnite app has been removed from the store. And this also applies to Google. The update on this article states that as well. So what do you think? Is it in line for the stores to charge for apps to be sold on their stores, or do you think that there should be just an equal opportunity platform where every app that wants to can go up there for free and be sold?
So, I mean, I guess this is all on the business model of the creator of it, I guess, is kind of how I look at it. Because, if you look at Steam versus Epic, right, another very similar kind of scenario, Steam versus Epic, right now, Steam has far more users than Epic does, and because they have so many more users than Epic does, they charge more money, but they don't charge the money up front. So these guys are charging the money up front for, instead of it being $7.50, it's $9.99, whatever that ends up being, 30%.
Well, it's all kind of hidden behind the scenes, and that's what Epic was kind of harping at. It's these guys have been charging us this amount for this long, and Epic's big enough to where now they're we're gonna pass the savings on to the people even though we're taking that hit. And now for one reason or another, Apple and Google were well, now we're making less money on this, and I feel like this is an attack on us, or it gets hairy when big companies start fighting with other big companies, because it to us it doesn't seem fair in a way, because it's billion-dollar companies, man. You can't spare a few bucks. But when you put that on the scale that Fortnite has been plastered all over every platform, that's a lot of money that's going either way.
It's probably an easy couple $1 million in revenue just for dropping it $1.
Yeah.
Let alone a full 30% of it.
I think it ultimately just comes back to the monopoly that Apple and Google have over the smartphone department of everything. There's not really a competitor that even comes close to those guys that puts out apps on their services. So it's hard because those platforms are so popular, and there really isn't any other way that you can get those apps onto any of your devices other than through those stores. So in that way, it does seem a little unfair that Apple and Google are charging these fees. But when you really think about it, it's their store, and if you want to sell things on their store, then it makes sense that they charge you a little bit of a fee to do that.
So, fun fact for you, there actually is another way. So you can't do this because Apple doesn't allow it. Well, they do, but you have to have a jailbroken phone, which is obviously against their terms and service.
That's illegal.
All that bullshit. However, Google, Androids are a little different. With an Android, you can actually go download a APK, which is a file type of an app, and install that APK straight from the internet. Obviously, you could be putting your phone at risk. You could be putting your information at risk. Tons of different things. But if Google took Fortnite completely out of the store and you still wanted to play it, you could go find the APK, download it, and still play Fortnite on that device, and it would have no effect at all. It would be like you just downloaded it from the App Store. So technically, Fortnite could just put out a updated APK for their game straight on their website, and Google can't do a damn thing about it, because that's how androids were built to work. They were built to be able to do things like
right.
that.
They were built like a computer, so
Exactly.
that you can do that. Yeah.
So there is that side of it. Apple users, I don't think will be quite as lucky.
No. And I think that what you're saying is something that Epic and Fortnite might actually go to the extent of doing, because they are slamming these guys with not only just posts and things like that, but they're actually making like CGI videos, like slamming these guys.
Yeah.
You saw the recreated one from like 1984 or something like that. Apple's commercial back then.
Yep.
They remade it with all kinds of Fortnite characters. It was pretty good, and I think that speaks to like the fun of Fortnite and the message that Epic's trying to send out. And I think that it's not ill will for them. They just want the best for the people that are playing their game. But
right.
At the same time, Apple and Google have to make money somehow, and they have to keep the lights on, and they have to keep making these really expensive phones. So I get it. But, it's just a bad look.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like with the whole Steam versus Epic kind of business model as well, it's like, do you want to charge up front or do you want to charge on the back end?
Right.
Because Steam does it kind of the opposite way. Steam charges more up front. Like when you buy the game, they take like 60% of your profit when you buy the game when it's on Steam.
Yeah.
Which is massive. But if there's microtransactions and stuff like that in your game, they take like 10% or something like that of microtransactions. So it's kind of like, what's your business model going to be versus Fortnite's free, so they don't charge anything up front, but the microtransaction charges are like very large in comparison.
No. So it's interesting, and it's all developing, and there's a big lawsuit between all three of them, and I'm sure more companies will jump on the bandwagon now that Epic has really called out some big flaws in the system. But maybe some things will change for the better, and Apple and Google will see some better path to make things easier for gamers to get these games, and easier for developers, and less stress on the old wallet of those guys. And the smaller people are really what I'm worried about most, like the people that make like, I think Niantic's a great example of a smaller company that makes a pretty big game in Pokemon Go, and I think they have the Harry Potter RPG out now too. So people like them, I think, are far more affected by that Apple Store and Google Play Store fee. So hopefully that kind of loosens the reins on that a little bit. Maybe just lower it a little bit, like 20% or 15%.
I could see that, but at the same time, I mean, these massive companies are. I don't like to use the word, but they're obviously pretty greedy.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean,
I mean, they really are, and I think that they only got to where they are now because of the way that they are. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll have to keep you updated on that one. But on to much brighter news, because I love talking about Cyberpunk 2077. Night City Wire Episode 2 came out, and I wanted to end the show with this one because there was a good amount of information that they kind of filled out here for the game. So I'll read what I have here. Night City Wire Episode 2 gave us some details about the game's titular band Samurai and what goes into making the soundtrack for the game. They showed the lead singer who's voicing Johnny Silverhand, his voice for vocals. I guess Keanu Reeves is still doing the voice for everything else.
Yeah.
He's most recorded lines in the whole game, so I can't wait to actually hear what he has to say. They still haven't had any other vocals for him other than what was in the very first trailer, I think.
Yep.
So that would be exciting. They also went into a little bit more depth with the life paths in the game. So they looked at Nomad and Corpo a little bit deeper, because I think we got a deep dive into Street Kid in one of the other trailers.
Yeah, actually, I think the Street Kid was one of the first ones that they really kind of dove into.
Yeah, and so then capped off with a presentation finally looking at the arsenal of weapons that we are going to be able to get our hands on in Night City. And They look so sick.
Yeah, they're
some
pretty
of
dope.
some of the weapons, the smart weapons especially, the ones that you can kind of like shoot at a wall and they bounce off or they fly everywhere to your target and you hit guys behind cover. It looks like there are going to be so many different ways that you can kill guys in this game, and I cannot wait to dive in. What did you think? What life path are you going to choose based on what we've seen? What has it changed your mind on any of it?
I still feel kind of more towards like the nomadish path. I think that's I'm a car guy. I love cars. That's pretty cool. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, they brought the heat with the cars. I didn't expect that to be a big focus of Nomad, but with this trailer, they really showed like the different looks of the cars. Like some of them look like super sporty, and some of them look like hella rally, and I really like that.
Yeah, pretty excited about that. Definitely lean towards Nomad. Weapon type, definitely lean towards like the power type. The smart weapons are cool, but also when I was watching that trailer with you, all I could think about was like, damn, how shitty would it be to live in a world where you're like, everybody's trying to kill me, but also no matter where I am, I can always get hit with a bullet. Well, guess that sucks. Like,
yeah, but imagine having that.
Yeah, but imagine getting hit with a bullet out of nowhere. It's like
I'm sure there are going to be some creative ways that you can get around that in the game.
Dude, I can't wait.
Like hacking ability that you can hack smart weapons to make them stop shooting all over the place. Maybe they'll go haywire and they start shooting back at you, or they start shooting back at an enemy.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
And it brings back to mind the different paths you can choose beyond life paths. There's the like hacker path. There's the brute path where you get a bunch of like really good physical augments on your body. So
it sounds pretty cool. But what about you, man? Which do you think you'd go Street Kid, or do you think you'd go Corpo? No,
this trailer sold me more than ever on the Corpo line.
Yeah.
I think I'll still go Street Kid because I love the city aesthetic and I want to spend as much time in there as possible.
Yep.
But the Corpo line really intrigued me this time, just based on what they said about it. Like it's very much how I play a lot of like Fallout and Bethesda type games, where you're going to be able to talk your way out of a lot of situations and you're going to know a lot about the higher ups. And I think that's really intriguing, especially probably towards the end of the game where you're going to be fucking with that Osaka corporation.
Right.
I think that's really going to be beneficial for the people that choose Corpo. So that might be my second playthrough, but I think I'm really stuck on Street Kid for sure.
That's dope. I was thinking about it too while we were watching that. I wonder how long a playthrough really will last if you just went straight through it, straight for the playthrough, versus like GTA of like, how much do you think there'll be to just fuck around? Like do you think this will be the type of game where you just load the game up and like fucking don't touch the story for 2.5 hours because you just got sidetracked on like running from the police and like fucking with other people?
I absolutely hope so, and I guarantee that there's going to be, like, if it's anything like The Witcher, there were so many times in The Witcher where I forgot that there was a main path. I was just like off doing so many side quests that were so deep and so well written that I have such faith that they're going to do that in the very same way. And with how many delays that they've had and how polished I know that this game is going to finally be, I can't imagine anything else other than, shooting a guy on the street and that guy was like a higher up and his guys come out of like a shop and they start shooting at you and you're like, oh shit, I gotta grab it and jump in this car, and you start this car chase across the city and you for some reason run into like a hangar and there's more of them there and you're like, oh shit, I accidentally ran right into their den and now I have to take all these guys down, and it ends up being some sort of like crazy side mission that you just stumbled upon. So I'm really excited to get into the nuts and bolts of the game, and this was I think even better than the first Night City Wire. It got me really hyped, and I can't wait to play more, or play it at all.
Yeah, same.
But that is everything for this week. If you like this, of course, go over to your YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment if you want to say anything to us about what's going on with Apple and Google Play, or what you think about Halo getting delayed, or any of the other stories this week, because we kind of skipped over a few of them. There were a lot of things to talk about in just these 3 things. But
very true.
Yeah, just talk to us and get over to our Facebook page, Instagram. Just follow us there if you want to keep up with us, anything that we're doing. We're really going to start posting more pictures on there, I swear to God. And actually make that platform worthwhile for you guys to go check out. But until next time, peace.
Peace.